All right.
Yay.
Now it's setting up. I didn't realize, yeah, there was an option to, like, it's asked me to do all this stuff that I've never seen. So yeah, okay.
It says meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Okay, it says it's redirecting, but I want to make sure that we're up. I
think we're on.
Hi, everyone. If we are on, now I don't see us. Here we go. Yay. Hi, welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here for the first episode of Women in Business, hosted by myself, Nicholle Caldwell. I'm an intuitive energy healer, intuitive life coach, and I support women and children with accessing the power of their intuition. And so I'm really excited for this debut episode, and I'm just going to share with you a little bit about where this was birthed, what prompted me to start this show, so you guys can understand, have a little bit better understanding of where I'm coming from before I introduce our beautiful, lovely guest here that's live with us today. So hence I'm a woman in business, but I really wanted to highlight other women in business about how they got to where they are, what inspired them to take the leap into entrepreneurship, and really about maybe highlighting some projects, some things that they're working on to share with all of you, so you can receive value, so you can see your own story, or maybe get clarity and ideas and strategy and tools and tips that you can infuse into your own business and what you're doing to help you grow, to help you accelerate and make a bigger impact essentially in this world. Because what I've realized is we can't do this alone. It really takes a village, and it takes community, and it takes collaboration in order for us to really get our message far and wide. You know, I don't really believe in anybody is self-made, right? Because it's not just them that got themselves there. It was maybe a team of people, coaches, mentors, community, family, whoever that may be, that supported them in getting there. And so this is really about that community, building that community and collaboration, and coming together with the theme of business. Okay, so before we get started, each week what I'm going to do is I'm going to showcase a card, so an oracle card with a message for all of us that are here and now. So this is going to be a message that's going to carry you through to the next episode, which will be airing every second and fourth Friday of the month at 10:11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 11:11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time here on the WUNTV. And so I already pulled the card before we started, and the card this week, or for this next few weeks, I don't know if you can see it, says gratitude is the answer. So, I mean, this is just so key and instrumental in our lives to really having more of what we desire. You know, it can be so easy to get focused on what maybe you don't have in your life, or what's not going right in your life, but really bringing it back to gratitude and being grateful for what you already do have now. Because the more gratitude you can express in your life, the more that you can feel, the more you're going to receive to be grateful for. So wherever you're at in your business right now, maybe you're just starting out, maybe you're established and you've been in business for a while, and wherever it is you're wanting to grow, you're wanting to reach this new level. Well, having that in mind is very important as well, but being grateful for all that you are and all that you already have now is so key and important in order for you to receive more. So that's your message for this next week, is gratitude is the answer. How can you be grateful here today? And feel free in the chat, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, share what are you grateful for now. Put that in the comments so we can see that and celebrate that and amplify what it is that you're already experiencing to new levels and new heights. All right, so I'm super excited, super duper excited to have Jillie Johnston here on the show with us today. Jillie is someone that I recently just connected with, and it was just like an instant connection, and it was because of community and collaboration. Me inviting another mutual friend and colleague that we have in common to a networking event, and then she inviting Jillie, and it was like that, like perfect harmony when we met. And it was a series of synchronicities, intuition that all brought us together here today. And I just knew I had to bring her on today. She's a worthiness and life coach. She is the creator of the Worthiness Warrior Summit that's been taking place each and every day this week, filled with so much value to support all of you out there with embodying your worth and giving you tips and tools to really help you in your life and in your business. And she helps people see their worth to create a life that sets their soul on fire. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Jillie Johnston. Tell us a little bit about yourself. What brought you into being a worthiness coach and having that be your niche?
Yeah. So first of all, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. And Nicholle, like, thank you so much. This is so exciting for you. And I'm so excited for everyone that you're going to impact and touch and like bring together. And I think you're such a light bearer, right? And all of us, like, we're all coming together and we can make so much of a greater impact when we get to collaborate and we get to show what abundance mindset is, and we get to work together and yeah, and just we become so much more powerful when we come together. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so excited to be with you and the WUNTV. So I'm just so grateful to be here. So yeah, like you said, I am a life and worthiness coach, and I've actually, like, I believe that everything comes down to our sense of self-worth, like literally everything. I have been a powerful manifester in my life, and I work with powerful manifestors. But unless we believe we are worthy of it, we will self-sabotage and we will push away. Like, I have seen people do this over and over and over again, and I've watched myself do this over and over and over again. I've created the exact thing that I've been wanting in life, but then I didn't feel worthy of it. Right? I had that so much doubt, and I had so much self-sabotage, and then I lost it. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, you just had the thing that you wanted. And I realized it was because I didn't feel worthy of it. And I watched this time and time and time again. So I help people see, create, and then keep the life that they know that they're worthy of. And I think we all share the message that we need, right? And so myself, like, I've struggled with self-worth my whole life. I was a Division I athlete. I am a high achiever, right? Like, I was taught from a very young age that my worth was dependent upon my results. My worth was dependent upon my accolades. My worth was dependent upon playing time, my label, my status, right? And then all of a sudden I realized, like, when all of that gets taken away, right? I'm not going to be an athlete forever. Like, I will forever in my heart be an athlete, but I no longer play soccer. I'm no longer an elite athlete. Yes, I can get really amazing grades and graduate with honors, and I'm a student of life, but I'm no longer getting accolades in school. And all of a sudden that gets taken away, and it's like, well, where do I find my worth? Right? And then that's when us high achievers turn to our career. And we believe that our worth is dependent upon income, is dependent upon status, is dependent on how we are in business and how successful we are. But that's not actually where our worth comes from. Right? Our worth is inherent. Our worthiness, right, is because we are alive, because we are breathing, because we are born. And when we can realize that we are worthy of love, and we are worthy of abundance, and we are worthy of success because we are breathing and because we are alive, all of a sudden it takes the pressure of us having to produce and create and show up and outdo, right, and overcompensate. All of a sudden it allows us to come into a space of complete love and abundance. And we do it because it sets our soul on fire. We do it because we are in love with it. It makes us feel alive. And that, when we come from that place of, I am worthy already because I exist, now let's show up and do the thing that sets me on fire. Like, how powerful is that?
Yes, 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 yes. Like, snap, snap, snaps. Like, that was so amazing. And I can just see your passion in that, right? And I feel like so many of us, the the niches we choose, the people who we choose to serve, it's based a lot on our own personal experience and what we've grown through, right? And it was just so powerful, like what you said, like, I think a lot of people think their worth is tied to a number in their bank account or how many people they're serving or what they're doing, as opposed to realizing it's who you are. It's what you were born with. Like, nobody can take that away from you. And until you embody that, right, and remember that, you're going to keep chasing this elusive thing that is already within you. And it's just really embodying that and knowing that that's what's going to allow you to receive what it is and keep. That's a huge thing, right? Because it may feel like we're grasping and then we just lose that grasp. But it's when you help people recognize it and keep that, keep what you're manifesting in your life. So it's not something that you do keep chasing after. And that is just so beautiful. Like, oh, yes, yes, yes. And I know myself personally, I've struggled with that in the past, and it comes up. And I feel like it's something, it's like one of those upper limit things, right? When you keep growing, there's going to be this new level that you have to open up to allow yourself to receive more. Because wherever you're at right now, you're used to receiving a certain level. But in order to keep moving up and to keep receiving more, you have to keep expanding your capacity to receive and know that you're worthy of that. And that's just so beautiful. And just something that's very much needed today and forever, really.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is like, yeah, you may have grown through it in the past, like you specifically, right? And then you're going to reach your upper limit, right? Just like I'm going to reach my upper limit and at the next level. And so do you, like, who needs this? Like literally every human on earth.
Right.
Like that's the thing is like every single person needs this. And so, and that's like, that is the importance of this work is like, I knew that the thing that I was sent here to do is life changing and is world changing. And that's what this is. Like this work is world changing and it starts with you.
Amen. Amen. And so what I would like to take us into is something that Jillie created this week, which is called the Worthiness Warrior Summit. And it's been going on all week. Just, I would love for her to share a little bit about what that is and why she created it. And what I will do is I'll put a link in the chat because you can still register for it. It's completely free with so much value, so much value. And so go ahead and share with us what that is and why did you birth this?
Yeah. So the Worthiness Warrior Summit was something I came up with a few months ago. And then was really guided and it turned into this thing that I never even anticipated it turning into. But it is a week-long summit with 10 mind-blowing workshops with 10 extremely powerful coaches. And I specifically picked this week because this week is so hard for so many people. There's so much meaning and significance put to this week, right? Because of Valentine's Day, because of love, it's very triggering for so many people. And I know that like that is a need, right? And so I wanted to create a gift. I wanted to create, coaching isn't always accessible to people. Coaching isn't always affordable for people. Coaching isn't always known to people. And I wanted to bring together some of the most powerful coaches that I know that have the heart and the mindset that is the exact kind of community that I want to create. And I wanted to give that as a gift to everyone who just decided to show up for themselves this week. All they needed to do was sign up and show up. And that is the thing is so many people put so much value on money, right? And like, of course, we all need to make money. We all need to get paid. And I think that money is a triggering thing that allows us to grow and evolve. And like the most important investment, the one thing that you can never get back is time. And I wanted people to give themselves the time. And that is why I created this week is we can lead you to water and we're leading you to water. We have 10 amazing, incredible, mind-blowing is the word that I keep hearing over and over and over again about every single one of these workshops. We are 8 workshops in, we have 2 to go. The replays are going to be available up until next Saturday. So you have access to every single replay, right? And what has been incredible is the energy that we have brought is the energy of everyone that showed up. Like, I was excited, right? Because it's like the thing that I had the idea, but every person I asked to do this was just as excited as I was. Every person that I asked to do this showed up as big as I showed up. And when does that happen? Right? Like, when does that happen that you put an event on that every single person is as excited as you and wants to get the word out and wants to get the message out? And no one got paid for this. We all did this for free. We all donated our time and our expertise and our knowledge to give to people. Like, the energy that has been created this week, to me, there's nothing like it. I've been in the personal development world since I was like 18. And I have never seen something that's been created because of the caliber of humans that said yes to this, and the caliber of humans that decided that they wanted to show up and give themselves something that they never gave themselves before, which is their time and the ability and the permission to begin to start that journey of self-love and self-worth. And so that is what this week is all about. And it's amazing. And like, I'm not afraid to say that because it is incredible what we have created. And I can't believe what's been created. So if you're watching this, like, all we're asking you to invest is your time. And like, invest not for me, not for Nicholle, right? This isn't about us. This is about you. And if you want to see a change in your life, something has to change. And that change needs to come from you. And so if you're ready to show up, if you're ready to experience something and literally have no excuse to begin that change, then it's time to sign up.
Yes. Yes. More snaps.
There we go.
Yes. Yes. Like, if we won't give ourselves the time, then how can we expect things to be different in our life? And so this is a gift. This is you loving yourself by saying yes to this. And I had the opportunity to be one of the guests on there, and just the experience, like that transfer of energy was just so enriching and fulfilling just for myself. Like, but the feedback that I received was just like, whoa, like some of these things, these gifts that you have, you're taking for granted because it comes so naturally to you. Whereas with you sharing more of your gifts, you showing up more can really impact people's lives. And so sometimes what you can do is not allow yourself to be seen and play small because you don't feel worthy of being seen. You don't feel worthy of sharing your gifts. And so this summit can really support you in that as well. And I really invite you, the link is in the comments here, to sign up and watch these videos of these 10 amazing coaches that donated their time to support you in your life. And thank you so much, Jillie, for all your time and energy that you put into this summit, because I don't feel like a lot of people know like how much time goes in on the back end. You just see like the finished product and it's like, wow, this is amazing. But all the time and coordination and your energy and efforts that you had to put into this in order to make this a success. So just thank you for your labor of love in this and for helping people throughout probably one of the hardest weeks of the year, because it is so focused on love. And the biggest thing, the most important thing we can do is love ourselves, and then we're able to share that love with other people as well. So thank you, Jillie. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. And thank you for seeing me, and thank you for noticing the work and the effort and love that was put into it. And it's all about allowing people to love themselves first this week. And so that's actually the workshop tonight that I'm putting on, is love yourself first. Like on Valentine's Day, love yourself first. And it's all about self-love and self-worth. And so that's what I want the focus to be. And so that's what I chose today to be. So please join. Yeah.
Yay. That's awesome. Awesome. And if you can't catch it live, remember, there's a replay, so you can make the time for you to catch her workshop and the other workshops that were offered up this week. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to move into was, you have a really unique way of traveling across the world that most people maybe don't even know about you, or that may be something that other people want to do.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about like your unique living situation and how you're really spreading your message across the nation.
Yeah, so I am a hashtag van lifer. So, so my boyfriend and I bought our van just over a year ago. We built it out ourselves. It took us 8.5 months to build it out ourselves. I didn't even know how to turn power tools on. He knew a tiny bit more than me, but we taught ourselves everything. So I'm actually in here right now. This is where I do everything. This is where I work from. And so this is our home, and we did it for many reasons, but one of my biggest values in life is freedom and impact, and those are two of my biggest values. And so I've always had the dream of creating freedom for myself, the ultimate freedom for myself, in a way that I could create the impact that I wanted to create. And that means traveling. That means connecting with people all over the country. That means spreading my message all over the country. And what's so important to me is like we had every excuse not to do this. We were in a lease of our house. We both had jobs that we required us to go in. We didn't have the cash or the extra to do the van. We didn't have the skill set to create it, right? We literally had no reason to think that we could do this except the fact that we wanted to, and we committed to it. And we decided that there was not going to be any excuse that got in our way from creating this, no matter how hard it was. And so when we decided, that was October 2018, we then came home from, we went on a national parks trip for my 30th birthday. And we came home and we told our roommates on November 2nd that, hey, we're not going to renew the lease next year. Our lease is up in June. We're not going to renew the lease when we have the opportunity. We're going to buy a van and we're going to build it out. So then we bought the van in January. So 2 months later, or 3 months later, and then we began building it out. We finished the build end of October, and then we left exactly 365 days later. So November 2nd of 2019. So we've now been traveling for almost 4 months, and we are in currently Austin, Texas. And I think the biggest gift that we gave to ourselves was that it was hard, and it was a sacrifice, and it was a grind, and it was commitment to a level I didn't know. And it was us both working full time and both creating ways of working remotely. So that was an impetus to start my business and to play big and to realize that I can help people. And I replaced my corporate salary within a month. Because I committed to it and I followed my intuition. There was literally no logical reason. And Nicholle said this in her workshop, intuition is not logical. There was no logical reason for me to want this so badly and for me to say yes. I didn't have a financial cushion. Like, we just decided to jump because intuitively I knew that it was time. And so we followed our intuition and we said yes. And the universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it, kept showing up and rewarding us for following that.
Wow, that's so incredible, because this is the first time I've heard this story too. And so that is just so incredible. Like, it's just a testament, right, to where our souls will call us somewhere. We'll feel guided to do something. And that's the wanting, the desire to want to have more freedom to do this thing, but maybe you don't know how. And a lot of times that stops people from moving forward is because, well, I don't know how. And really the how is not up to us. The how is up to God, to the universe, to source. Your priority is really focusing on the what do you want? And then taking action in that direction, because you can't just sit and just, oh, hope out of, like, it's going to fall out of the sky that the van's just going to all of a sudden be ready to go if you're not taking the action steps to make that happen. And that's exactly what you did. You got clear on what you wanted, and you gave yourselves timelines in order to complete these things, right? And you took the action steps, even when it felt scary. Because a lot of the times, like, individuals want things to feel really comfortable, but these leaps
Or not.
these next levels are not. that's where we grow, is in the discomfort. It's maybe learning a new skill, never turning on a power drill, to building your own van that
Well,
you
and
live
that's
in.
like, and that's the thing, you guys, is like, do you know how many breakdowns that we had? Do you know how many days we wanted to quit? Do you know how many nights like where we're just like, I literally cannot do this anymore. It was an entire
Mhm.
year of not doing anything socially, like not hanging out with friends, not following on up like on different commitments that we thought we wanted because it was a sacrifice. Like that there is, I truly believe that there's something that when you decide that you want something, no matter what, our we it took us 4 weeks longer, or sorry, 4 weeks, 4 months longer than we anticipated, 4 months longer than we thought. We didn't have a place to live. We ended our lease and we didn't have a place to live. And we were like, we got in the car, in the van, which was completely, like almost completely empty. It was not livable. And then it literally, we're driving to Home Depot. We didn't know where we were going to stay. And a friend calls us and goes, hey, I heard that you guys might need a place to stay. Do you want a house and dog sit for us for the next month? We left this morning to go to Texas and we need a dog sitter. And we had a month. And then we had another friend that was like, hey, do you want to come live with us forever, however long? Once that month was up, we won't charge you rent. We just want to help you in your goal. And then we lived with them for 3 months. Like it was it, but this is the thing, is it's not rational, it's not logical, it is freaking scary. It is so scary and it's not easy, but don't put meaning to that. When you don't hit your goal in the timeline you want, it doesn't mean you're not supposed to do it. It doesn't mean you're supposed to give up. It means that it didn't happen, and how committed are you?
Mm.
And that was the biggest shift, was that like when I didn't hit my business goal last year, right? I got to go back on this experience of the van of, we didn't finish in the timeline either, but we still made it happen. It just took twice as long. It took way more effort that we had anticipated. We had to learn and go through way more. Him and I had to grow together. We put our relationship in a pressure cooker, and like we had to grow together. But we constantly chose it. And so you're being faced with a decision when hardship happens. It doesn't mean not do it. It means, how hard are you ready to lean in?
Mm. Yes, I just got chills like when you were saying that. Like, yes, it's so true, right? So many times you may get discouraged because things don't happen by the time you wanted them to, but remembering and trusting in the vision, like keeping that vision in the foresight, right? Remembering like in your why, like why I'm doing this, and to keep going, because divine timing is also like involved as well. And we're growing, we're learning new tools, new ways of being. And also it's like allowing yourself to receive the support of others, because how many times where there could have been, you could have been like, oh no, I don't want to stay at my friend's house, like they're giving this to me for free, or just like reasons of just coming up with excuses or reasons why you can't accept that. But you allowed yourself to receive. People knew your story, right? Because I know there's a lot of you out there that aren't sharing what it is that you're building. And there's sometimes things that you maybe don't share, but then there's other times where there's things you do need to be sharing, so people can literally help you, because the universe wants to help you. It's not here to punish you. It is designed to support you. But what are you believing in, right? Are you believing in the support of the universe? Are you embodying your worth? Because miracles will happen when you say yes. When you decide, the universe conspires in your favor, but you first have to decide. You first have to say yes and allow the universe to support you in that. And just what a beautiful story
Isn't
of
it?
that, Jillie. Like,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, like, and I think that this is the other thing, like, get your ego out of it. Like, what are you trying to prove? Right? Like, you doing it yourself, what are you trying to prove? The only reason you do it for yourself is because you don't feel you're enough. You don't feel like you can do it, and you need to prove yourself to someone or somebody, which is ultimately yourself. When I got my ego out of it, and it took a couple months to get my ego out of it, right? Because, like, we're all human. But when
Right.
I finally said, like, you know what? This isn't Robbie and I doing it by ourselves, right? Like this is actually an entire community, right? When I got my ego out of my business of like, I have this message and I want to do this, to no, this is the divine message. and I'm meant to work with everyone and uplift everyone. And Nicole's success is my success, and your success is my success, and vice versa. When I got my ego out of it, that's when all these doors open, because it isn't about me. It's not about you, right? This is about something so much bigger. This is about the message that you are being given. Oh no, did you freeze? I don't know if I'm still on or not. Nicholle? Okay, so I think I'm still on. And so this isn't about you. This is something so much bigger than you. And when you get your ego out of it, right? When you say, okay, like I'm willing to accept help, and I'm willing to like fully show up, and I'm willing to realize that I can give credit and support to everyone who helped me along the way, kind of what Nicholle was just saying. When I'm willing to do that, that's when everything opens up. It's not about you. It's something so much bigger than you. And it's time to let that go. And when I let my ego go, and when I realized that I get to give credit, and everyone gets to uplift me, and everyone gets to support me, that's when all of the doors open. And that's when my business, right, also began to flourish, and opportunity began to flourish, which is also how the Worthiness Warrior Summit came through. And which is like, I had someone say to me the other day, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe like all of you, like you're not competing with one another, you're actually uplifting one another. And that's because I truly don't believe that there's competition. And like in business, right, you have to understand that like competition, right, and hiding is a scarcity mindset. And so how can you let go of the scarcity mindset and shift into an abundance mindset, knowing that there's abundance, knowing that there's love, and how can you make decisions from that abundant, loving place? And abundant, loving decision making is going to yield abundance, loving results. And so I think that we may have lost Nicholle. And so, Nicholle, are you back on? Are you back on?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Okay, so I was still on. So I just kept going with my whole thing. So like it hasn't stopped. So I just finished with like, get your ego out of it, right? And like when you make decisions from an abundant, loving place, it yields abundant, loving results. And so if you make decisions from a very egoic, lack, scarcity place of like, I need to do this myself, and there's competition, and I need to like hide my audience, or hide my income, or hide the opportunity because I don't believe there's more of it, then it's just going to yield more results. And so you have to see that like you're worthy of the support, yes, right? But then also knowing that like there's only abundance. So yes.
Thank you. You're just like a perfect person to have and just keep it going, because you've been doing this all week, hosting, right? So yeah. Thank you so much, Jillie. Like, thank you, universe, for always having everything work out perfectly, right? Like,
yeah. Yes. I got you.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so before we wrap up today, what I would love for you to share, because you really talked about intuition, right? And that's something that's very important to me, because that's what I support my clients with, right? Because I truly believe we're all born intuitive, and it's just along the way we start doubting ourselves. We start listening to other stories, taking on beliefs and programs and systems that we're not as connected to it as we were when we were little. And so that's something that's very powerful for me. And that's something that you really talked about and highlighted, how a lot of this was intuitive, right? You had to just trust yourself. There was no logical reason for a lot of these things, but you just took that leap anyways. You still kept going. And I really love that. And if you guys haven't taken that away yet today, really tuning into your own intuition, to where it's guiding you along in your business, to maybe it's you feel guided to shift who it is that you're working with, or to create this new program, or to do a summit, or to take this leap, and really tuning into what you desire, what you feel called to, because what you feel called to is part of your intuition guiding you. And so what is one tip, one tool of how people can really begin to embody their worthiness? Maybe they're not feeling worthy of stepping out and what is something that they can take home with them today to begin reconnecting to that part of themselves?
Yeah. So I think there's two really good exercises that I always tell people, and they're very simple. Um, and like it's rewiring your brain, right? Like you've had this belief. So worthiness, the definition of worthiness, if you look it up, is the quality of being good enough. Okay, like that's what worthiness means, is the quality of being good enough. We all have the I'm not enough story, right? Like either I'm not enough, right, which is mine, or like I'm not good enough, I'm not successful enough, I'm not, thin enough or confident enough, or whatever it is, whatever your not, I'm not enough story is, right? You've had that belief for so long that has, and we all talk about this, right? In like our brain, that neural pathway, that connection between neurotransmitters has been so strong and so fluid that it's like a highway, right? It's easy. You have created such a strong connection in your brain that, yeah, it's just like a highway. You know where to get off, you know where to get on. It's super smooth. It's the quickest way, right? It's really easy to go that direction. And is it serving you? No. I'll quick answer. It's not serving you, right? Like I don't coach you. We don't have time for that, but it's not serving you, period. Because if it did, then you would feel differently about yourself. You would feel differently about your life, right? And so now it's time to change that neural pathway, but you have to begin changing it, right? By telling yourself a different narrative, but then also finding evidence for that new narrative. So when you think to yourself, like, I'm not good enough, right? I want you to prove yourself wrong. I want you to actually go find evidence in your life of how you are good enough. So one, what does good enough even mean? Right? So it's beginning to change your definition of good enough. Like I want you to actually change it. I want you to define it for yourself. What does good enough mean for you? And then I want you to go out and I want you to find pieces of evidence, like 5 pieces of evidence, let's say, every single day. Before you leave the house, before you go on with your day, maybe while you're drinking coffee or doing your morning routine or whatever it is, 5 pieces of evidence how you are good enough. And that alone is going to shift your energy, right? It's going to shift your feeling, right? And it's going to actually create different results in your life because you're going to be coming from a completely different space. And then you're going to begin shifting that story that you've been telling yourself forever, right? And every time that you do that, you're like, I was using this yesterday, actually. It's like you're in the Amazon going bushwhacking, right? And like that going on the highway is way better than going into the Amazon by yourself bushwhacking, right? Like of course you're going to choose to go on the highway, but you have to go bushwhacking. And like coaches are here to not bushwhack for you, but to go with you so that you're not afraid, like is how I've been saying it. And so your job then is to, like, as scary as it is, the first time you go bushwhacking is going to be the hardest. And then the next time you're going to have a little bit more of a trail and you're going to go again, and you're going to create a better trail and a better trail and a better trail. And every time you find 5 pieces of evidence, you are making that trail, you are making that a new road, and you're taking the energy and the resources you've been putting into maintaining that highway, and you're actually creating a new highway in that Amazon jungle, right? One that serves you, one that allows you to create the life and feel that you're worthy of the life that's creating. But it first starts with you allowing yourself to see how you're good enough right now.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, because that's something that we can all do each and every day. It takes a couple minutes for you to just really tune into, look around, find evidence that you are already good enough. There's nothing else you need to do or have to be good enough. Like you already are. And taking that away with you and finding the evidence of that, because that's going to shift your entire experience and open you up to receiving more, right?
Yeah.
To just really, what is going on here? I'm like, I just heard that. I'm like, I'm hearing my voice on echo.
No, I might have clicked something. I'm not sure.
Oh, no worries. I'm like, what did I do? So please, everyone that has joined here today, if you are on the replay, take the opportunity to sign up for the Worthiness Warrior Summit. I've posted the link in here. I'll post it again. And then Jill, if people are interested in how to work with you, where can they find you?
Yeah. So on Instagram, Jillie Johnston Coaching. My website is jilliejohnston.com. And then like feel free to reach out to me through Facebook. Feel free to message. I respond to every single message. I respond to every single reach out. I'm so honored and love it when people do. So please know that like I'm here to support you on your journey. I'm here to do whatever it takes. I'm actually tonight launching like a super affordable coaching program for people who are ready just to like dip their toes in, but don't want to jump all the way in. But it's going to be an amazing first steps of how to, an amazing community of support, and give people the tools just to start their journey and know that you're not alone. So like that is also there for anyone who wants it.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on my first show today. And thank you everybody for your time and for your energy being here today. And, let us know what was your takeaway in the comments. And if you have any questions, post them in here. I will definitely check back, tune in if it's something that applies to me or Jillie. I'd be happy to forward the questions to her, or you can reach out to her directly. But let us know what your takeaways were here today. And I'm excited to be back with you in 2 weeks from today. That's going to put us on the 28th. And this is a leap year. So we have 29 days in February this year. And so Lanita, thank you for being here. I've seen all of your comments. She's just validating everything we're saying. I appreciate you. Lanita is the founder and creator of the WUNTV. And so I just want to say thank you to her as well for creating this amazing resource for all of us to show up and share our message, to really support and make a bigger impact in the community. It comes back to this, you got to everyone again, like if you haven't heard this, it takes a village, it takes community in order for us to have this greater impact in the world, and link arms with the people you feel called to create with, because it's going to go further and wider, and you're going to just help even more people. And it's way more fun, like when you come together with others, it's just, it really, really is so much more fun when you have other people supporting you and that are along for the journey. So thank you again. Make sure you are following, you've liked thewontv.com, because there's amazing shows on here every single day. So thank you again. Thank you, Jillie. I love you and I appreciate you. And have a great day, everybody. Mwah. Bye.